Hey, what's going on, Knights? This is Critical Redemption, bringing you another game review, and this time I'll be talking about one of these games I've been actually waiting for exclusively for the PS4, and this is Until Dawn. Until Dawn is basically like the game Heavy Rain mixed with a little Walking Dead and also Indigo Prophecy, if you guys remember that for the PlayStation 2. So I was highly anticipated for this game, and I was really excited to see what it would bring to the horror genre. So for those of you horror fans out there, you'll probably enjoy this game. I wasn't expecting to get scared, but let me tell you, the jumps that pop out at you at this game made me actually jump. And this is something that I wasn't expecting. Like, unexpectedly something would pop out at you. So the story consists of 8 teenagers going back to the cabin where 2 of their best friends, 2 sisters, were killed a year previous to their reunion. And a guy named Josh wants them to come back in order to pay respect to their sisters and just get along. So there's 8 different characters, and throughout the story you play as these 8 different characters. Also, a huge thing in this game is called the butterfly effect. What the butterfly effect consists of is when you make a decision or a choice, it's going to affect the story no matter what it is. If it's a person getting angry at someone, if it's one of the characters touching someone's cell phone, if you're trying to decide to go to the left side or the right side, or if you're trying to go down the stairs and get away from the so-called killer. There is so many things that will change the outcome of this game, which is fantastic. And let me tell you, that's one of the things I really enjoyed about this game, because I love making my own decisions in video games, especially in a video game like this, a horror genre. So now you have 8 teenagers reuniting a year later after the 2 deaths of the twin sisters. And also, there's other things going on, and I won't spoil it for you, but there is a killer, and they make it clear through the trailers and everything. There's a killer around the cabin, and you do not know who he is, but he's here to cause trouble, and he's here to scare the hell out of you. So, just everything that is brought into this game is fantastic. Let's talk about the graphics. The graphics are superb. I mean, you look at Hayden Panettiere's character and you actually think it's her in the flesh. That's how good they are. The detail in the teeth, the facial animations, how the way they talk, the way they get scared, and then their facial expressions change are completely satisfying. I mean, completely. Even when you're walking on the wood, the wood will creak. Even when the killer's creeping up, you can feel that you're scared. It's a thrilling aspect of this game, but the one letdown that really let me down was the reveal of the killer and the story. I will not go into it. I was expecting more. I was expecting a lot more from the end of this game. They made it clear when they announced this that the decisions you'll make will impact the ending. There's multiple endings no matter what you do, but the reveal of the killer is disappointing, and then that's all I'll say, because when I found out who he was and what his story was and why he did what he did, I was just kind of let down. That's my opinion. I don't know if any other horror genre fan will have a different opinion, but that's the way I felt. And me being a huge horror fan and huge into the horror video game franchise, I was let down. But besides that, it was a good play. I beat this game in 2 days, about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay. I went through it like no other. I kept playing it and playing it. That's the one thing that was intriguing about this game. You just wanted to continue to play to see what would come to your ending of each character. And the butterfly effect. There's these totem poles throughout the levels you'll have to pick up, and they'll give you a little glimpse into the future of what your character's going to do, what's going to happen to the character, if they're going to live, if they're going to die. That's something that you have to figure out yourself. And quick time events. The quick time events will affect you. So if one of your characters is running up a steep mountain in the snow and it tells you to press triangle or square to jump and do this and you miss it, you're gonna die, or your character's going to be affected. I did this in one part of the game where I did not want one of the characters to die and I missed the triangle button. Boom, he was dead. And I won't spoil anything, but that was real cool to see that if you miss a button, it will lead to a character's death. And as the story progresses, you'll be losing characters if you don't decide what to do with them. And the relationships between the characters and how they interact is interesting. At the same time, I had a little problem with them just wanting to have sex with each other all the time. I mean, them being teenagers, you're going to expect that in a horror game, but it's just kind of played out. The other thing I really enjoyed about this game is if the killer's in the corner, for example, or there's something you have to hide from, the controller is motion sensitive, so you cannot move. It tells you don't move. If you move even an inch with the controller of your hand, the killer or anything around you will spot you and you are screwed. That was one thing I really enjoyed about this game. The only thing I didn't like about this game was the letdown of the reveal of the ending that happened to me. I played it twice and it still played out the same way, just different characters died. My overall aspect and what I thought about this game is not a solid 10. I'd give it a 7.5. I enjoyed it for the most part, but for me it's not worth $60. I would probably either pick it up if it drops on Black Friday for like 20 bucks or just rent it. Besides that, this is Critical Redemption. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my video game review. Until next time, see you guys later. Happy gaming and take care.